Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome to another performance analysis review, and today we're going to be looking at who else but Ivan Rakitic's performance against Levante yesterday. It was a fantastic result, 5 goals to 0 we won it in the end, and this man was at the heart of a lot of good moves coming from Barcelona, and a lot of defensive work was put in by this man who did drop to defensive midfield when Busquets was replaced by Xavi. Now, Rakitić has come in the summer. It was a really low fee, under 20 million for him, and he really hasn't taken long to really welcome the fans on his side, because we absolutely love this guy. He's come in, he's a breath of fresh air to our team, he brings something a little bit different, he's a little more direct, and he's got all the attributes and all the abilities to become a real Barcelona legend. And I do mean that because Ivan Rakitić yesterday was outstanding. The way he played, his positioning, he's such an all-round player, he can control the game. And you do see him in the positions, of course his set piece is something we have to mention. We're going to get goals from set pieces this season because he is onto it. He's that guy who is always playing at the very, very best of his ability and always really going to it. And you can see him all game long getting the ball in these positions. And he's always the right centre midfielder. He's got Iniesta over to the left. And what Rakitić tends to do is, Busquets is here. When Busquets receives the ball, he's looking for Rakitić, because Rakitić is the one who's dropping in a bit deeper. Iniesta is the attacking midfielder. Rakitić is the box-to-box man. This man wants to come and get the ball and start the moves, and he'll often do this. He'll drop deep, give the ball, give it and go. He's a real workaholic. You can see him here. He's quite happy to keep possession. And this was the moment which really did sum up Rakitić in his overall game. He is a player who will give his absolute all in every single match this season, because he's that kind of player. He gets box to box, and you can see him here. He's covering very well because Dani Alves is here. Mascherano and Machu are nowhere to be seen. So what we needed was a defensive midfielder or a midfield player tracking the run, and that's exactly what Rakitić did. There was no need for him to be here, but he's got the desire and he's got the want to get back and get that ball, and he saved us a goal there. If Rakitić isn't there, if Rakitić doesn't make that tackle, we concede to Levante, they park the bus, and it's a completely different game. This is a game-changing moment, and you can see here the bravery. He's gone into the post, and that's why he's got a bruised foot. He's not actually training today, but an absolutely phenomenal interception here. You can see him, he's busting a gut. Mascherano's looking over his shoulder here, look. He's thinking, is anyone going to be covering, because he's got to close down this ball. He has to go and close the ball down. So he's just hoping that one of his midfield players are tracking the run. And was they? Absolutely. Ivan Rakitić was there. Before Dani Alves, the desire to get there was outstanding, and he made an absolutely brilliant interception. And it really was a game-changing moment, because this set us up now to go and really lay into Levante. Good thing with Rakitić as well, he's quite versatile. As I mentioned earlier, we often see him in these positions as well. When Dani Alves doesn't make the runs, sometimes you can see Dani Alves will come in a little more central, and sometimes Dani Alves will be a bit more defensive. Ivan Rakitić then will go and take out the wide areas, because he does like to roam, he does like to go out wide when he can, because he can but cross in the box. And unlike Dani Alves, Ivan Rakitić crosses are very effective. They do get their man. You can see here, sometimes he's got the short incisive pass, and that's the difference. And you look at that challenge there, going back to that is really his superb midfield play, and he was outstanding all match. And you can see here, he's getting in the positions, he's picking up the ball, he's playing it. And, he was always the orchestrator, and you saw with, the comparisons between himself and Xavi, and I don't like that, because Rakitić will be his own man, he'll be his own player, but he does dictate, he does control the pace, he always wants the ball, he always wants to get it, and every little circle, every little triangle, he's involved. And I think, the goal is coming up shortly, and I think that really does epitomise exactly what Ivan Rakitić is about, because he has got everything, and bang! 2-0, game over. And that was what it was. It was a very important goal because Lionel Messi had just missed his penalty. And at that stage, it was 1-0, we weren't quite sure, and this is what we were lacking last season. At any point last season, that doesn't happen, because last season we had a reluctancy to shoot from outside the area. Players weren't able to do it, they don't have the ability. The only player in our side really who shoots from outside the box is Adriano. He scored some phenomenal goals, in the past from outside the area. The ball comes to Rakitić here, he's got one thing on his mind: I'm hitting this. He's got the accuracy, he's got the power to do it, and bang, that is some goal. I mean, the way he hits it, the technique on this is just superb, and the keeper has absolutely no chance. And Rakitić's first goal for the club couldn't have come at a better time, and couldn't have been of any better quality, because that is world-class ability. And Ivan deserves it, he really does, because he's been at the heart of everything we do. And you can see here he is dropping in a deeper position. When we've got the ball, he likes to drop deep, he likes to collect the ball, come and get it, and that's good to see that he always wants the ball, he's always happy to receive it. There's a few clips I want to show you here where he does drop even deeper in a sort of defensive midfield. He's happy to get the ball, and here he is again out wide in that wide position. And just looking at a few of these clips here, it does show that the change in his position, and I think that's what we need. We need somebody in midfield who's happy enough to take up different positions, who's happy enough to slot in. You can see him here, he's tracking back, he's making a tackle, and he's a strong player. He's a very, very strong player, and you can see here when Xavi comes on, he is dropped deeper. You can see there in that clip, he is dropped between the two midfielders, and he's just in front of the centre-backs. And it's good to see that we've got a player with a lot of versatility, because I think we need a midfield player. We're not exactly blessed with midfielders. We haven't got as many maybe in the squad as we have in the past, so we need Ivan Rakitić to be able to play different positions. And you can see here he is a deeper role, whereas Xavi Hernandez is a little more advanced, and that was what the brilliance was, really. Ivan Rakitić can do a number of roles, he can play a part in a number of different positions, and I'm really, really excited about this guy, because he's got everything. You know, you're looking at him, he's at a good age, you know, he's approaching the real prime of his career. And this boy, he's got everything. You look at his game, he's got the shooting ability, he's got the passing ability, he's got the ability to be the man, he's good from set pieces, he's a strong player, he can tackle, he's got the energy, you know, he can track back, he's good at pressing, his positional play is good, he's got a tactical mind. You look at Rakitić, you look at his attributes, what hasn't this guy got? And you know, you look at him now and you think, you know, the more time he has with the squad, the more time he's got to play matches and integrate within the squad, the better he'll become. And we've seen the performances already are really superb, and I think there's even better to come, and that really is a scary fact for a lot of defences, because this guy is something really special. So hope you enjoyed this video today, guys. Just a quick few clips there of Ivan Rakitić's brilliant performance against Levante. It finished 5-0. If you are new, please make sure you subscribe and hit that like button as well if you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon, I'm sure, in the next video.